Hello, everyone, and welcome to this oral history project. I am IUN. I am Marlen Perez interviewing,
Mina Mahmood.
and we're just going to go right into kind of going into depth of Mina's overall education and life. Let's get into it. So, hi, Mina. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
I'm glad you're here today. I just wanted to go in and have you introduce yourself, your major, and the overall programs and organizations you play in today here at IUN.
Yeah, definitely. So, um, where to start? I am kind of doing a lot of stuff at once right now here. So, I'm a G23 group scholars cohort, like yourself. And I'm also in student government. My role in there is representative of the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Multicultural Affairs, ODEMA. So I work with them a lot on organizing programming for our diverse groups here on campus, like MSA, Asian American Student Association, and many other organizations like My Sister's Keeper, BSU, etc. Some other things that I do here, I actually work here also. I'm a paid intern in the Rutherford lab that Dr. Maureen Rutherford in the psychology department organizes. So I work here also in my free time. So I'm here usually like every day of the week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm also involved. I'm a member of MSA. I'm a member of the SSJP, which is the Solidarity and Justice for Palestine organization that was just born this year. And yeah.
Wow, so it seems like you are a part of a lot. So you're very grounded here and very known here in the IUN family. So I heard you mention the Group Scholars Program. So as one of the first programs and organizations you have been part of. So can you just explain how either that played a big role in why you're a part of so many
Mm-hmm.
clubs and organizations?
So yeah, definitely. I have kind of an interesting story with the Group Scholars Program. The opportunity was presented to me at kind of an odd time during high school. So my plan was initially to graduate from high school early, but I was offered an internship at Community Hospital in Munster. I went to Munster High School, so that was the
Okay.
opportunity. So I stayed another semester to do that internship. And while I was doing that, I made a lot of really great connections. So I was actually offered in April a position to work with a neurosurgeon that I was interning with. So I'll get into that kind of later, but neuroscience and neurology is like one of my biggest passions. So I was offered a like receptionist position to work and chart with a neurosurgeon that I was interning with. So it seemed like such a great opportunity at the time, and I was really excited about it. But like the same exact week that I was offered that position in April, I also got the letter from Antoine Hawkins, which presented the opportunity for the Group Scholars Program.
Wow.
So I was like reading that letter, and it was like you can do the 6-week, 6-credit college courses and things like that, and get your college credits in. So I had to make a decision like within the next week
Mm-hmm.
about which one I was going to choose, because the issue was the job was a full-time position.
Okay.
So I remember I was really unsure of what to do. I asked my parents, and they were like, just trust your gut, like do what you think is best. But I didn't know what my gut wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I emailed Antoine Hawkins, and I basically explained the situation to him.
Mm-hmm.
I had only met him one time before that. So I met him at a like the student orientation. Like I
Yes.
came in to like get a tour of the school. So I met him once. So I emailed him, and I was like, I don't really know what I should do. And I remember he emailed me back, and he was like, I need you to understand that, like, what he basically said was, I need you to understand that you're becoming a college student, and that in itself is a full-time commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that the decision that you make is not going to interfere with what you want to do in your career
Yes.
down the line. Instead of actually, the gist of what he was saying that I interpreted was, like there was no point in taking on a position when I was going to go to school to be in a position later on in
Mm-hmm.
that career path. And there was really no point to bombard myself with more responsibilities and things on top of going to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I said no to the position, and I went with the group scholars program. And I remember when the program started, I was really unsure if I made the right decision. And then it was when I started making friends like you and our other friends in the program, and becoming more hands-on, that I felt like it was really rewarding, and I was
Mm-hmm.
happy that I made that decision.
That's beautiful. That's a very in-depth story. It sounds like Antoine not didn't make you pick, but showed you a perspective of
Exactly.
you're already going into that career. Why
hmm
not just take the path and see where it takes you?
hmm
So it's very inspirational to know that. And can you just go into depth of, why neuroscience is a passion of yours and how your family supported that because it's a very big role.
Um, so I have kind of, I feel like everything in my life kind of has like a deep meaning.
Mhm.
So my passion for neuroscience stems from a lot of different things. So I was raised in a family with only one person in my family working. So my mom is a single breadwinner in my household. So she works as a medical assistant. And I've been around like medicine my whole life, basically. I have cousins in the medical field. I remember like after school, almost every day, elementary school and middle school, I would just go hang out in my mom's clinic. And like I was always surrounded by medicine. And she was just one of those people who, she is still one of those people who
Mhm.
enjoys helping other people unconditionally and supporting them. And along with that, my father is actually also on disability. So I grew up with him not working and being around him a long time. So I was also kind of tasked with taking care of him too.
Mhm.
So those two things really instilled like a very deep sense of, like wanting to help other people. And medicine is just one of the like biggest ways you can do that for others.
Mhm.
So, um, that's kind of how I got into it. But neuroscience, I felt like when I started interning at community hospital, that was one of the things that really solidified that passion. So in that semester-long internship, they had us shadow different fields in the hospital. So I went through like radiology, pharmacy, um, OR, like just surgery, the cardiovascular unit, different units like that, even like gastro and endoscopy and things like that. And like they were all cool. And then I got to the IR unit. So
Mhm.
IR is interventional radiology. And so I remember like the way that they were doing these procedures was so interesting to me because they don't actually like, when you think of surgery, you think of like cutting open people,
Mhm.
but interventional surgery and science is so interesting because all of the surgeries are performed internally.
Mhm.
So rather than having invasive procedures done, it's a good way to, um, they do surgeries through inserting catheters through the body and feeding it to different places to do internal surgeries with machinery. So after I interned there, I became interested in learning more about interventional neuroscience.
Mhm.
So I remember like I had to reach out myself and ask if they could get me into that unit, because no kid wants to watch like brain surgery. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
had to like ask for it and fight for it myself. And then they eventually let me. So I made this connection with Jennifer Bianc, who works in community hospital, and she saw how like interested I was, and she just like threw me in. So like my first day, she scrubbed me in. She put like, I had to get scrubbed in and wash my hands, wear like the hairnet and everything, and they threw me into a stroke surgery. So it was an interventional neurosurgery procedure where it was so interesting. The patient had a stroke, an
Okay.
ischemic stroke in their brain, so they were having brain damage. And rather than having, like I said, the open brain surgery, they fed a catheter through the patient's body and removed they blocked off the stroke, like the blood clot in the
Mhm.
brain, with just machinery. So it was very
Wow.
uninvasive. So I was so interested in that. And after seeing that, I just kept bothering her and asking her to tell me more and more about this field. So I got interested.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's very interesting. And you could see your passion through the way you describe the procedures and
hmm
how you describe the overall sensation of the whole situation. So you mentioned that you were a fighter for getting into that surgery, getting a closer view of it. You fought for that. So, how would you say you're fighting through all your courses and through how do you how will you fight through your 4 years of college to get to that career?
I would say kind of doing the same thing. I feel like a lot of opportunities I've had in my life were kind of the same thing. Like I had to go like reach for it.
Mhm.
And the group scholars program was kind of the same thing because like that was competitive. I had to like write an essay for that and like I had to actually like talk to people and reach out to it. And it wasn't until like I actually spoke to Antoine in person that he was like, "Oh yeah, you are accepted." He was like, "I remember your essay."
Okay.
So, I feel like so many opportunities that I've had in my life, like I've had to like do things in person to
Mhm.
go get them. So I just want to continue to do that and continue to branch out, talk to people, make new connections. Odema very has been a very important
Mhm.
part in that as well. So at the beginning of this semester, through the groups program, I got connected with Odema, and they sent me on 2 conference trips, which were paid overnight trips in
Okay.
hotels. So both of them were in Bloomington at the IU Bloomington campus. So there, I was able to attend the La Casa 50th anniversary of, and also for Hispanic uh, Hispanic Heritage Month. So we were celebrating that there, and then the other one was for a Black History Month event. So
Mhm.
both of those events were considering diverse perspectives that were different from my own.
Mhm.
And at first, I was hesitant because I was like, I don't know if I'm really the most qualified person to attend those events. But I learned so much from both of them because those people there, they enjoy seeing new people that are different from them, and they enjoy um, extending opportunities to new
Mhm.
students. I also made a lot of connections. There were people there who were in the medical field as well. So, you find people everywhere that can give you advice that's relevant to you.
Definitely. So, continuing with the talk of, you had to reach out to get, what you desired. So, how in these plenty of organizations, projects, clubs, how did you have to reach out and use these organizations you're part of to create the projects that you have? I've known of plenty of projects that Mina has created, and it's just astounding how she could do that. It's a long process to create something from scratch. So give us just a little insight of how you used, that.
I feel like for me, the thing that's been working for me this year is kind of intersectionality.
Okay.
So, like, everything I do is kind of connected. So, groups led me to Odema. Odema introduced me to the archives, and Jeremy Pekarik there introduced me to this project, which is
Mm-hmm.
the Am IUN project. So from there, I just kind of started adding my own input,
Mm-hmm.
feedback, things like that. And me and him worked together with Odema and other students, volunteers, different organizations to kind of um, you know, like make the project into what it
Yeah,
is now. But intersectionality is important for me when I'm doing projects because I can, take something from one organization and report it to the
definitely.
other. So I took this project and I brought it back to SGA, made them kind of aware of what I was doing, and I got the help of Red Hawk Media from the SGA representative, which is Alexandros, who's in SGA. So it led me to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also was able to I also like intersected with my classes and things like that. So I remember like telling my professors and things like that about the project. So, like just everything is kind of intertwined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is, and it's done in a very beautiful manner, very organized. And you're a student yourself. How did you find it to make other students involved? Because a lot of the organizations that you have been a part of um, has attracted a lot of students, and that's something very hard in a lot of campuses to do to get the attention of students. So, how did you find it within yourself to kind of like attract that? Because you have
Hmm.
attracted a lot of students like myself. I am very introvert, so it's like took me a while, but you have like helped a lot of students get to, clubs and everything. How would you explain?
Um, so I feel like like I have kind of a long answer. So I feel like I kind of just do what was done for me
Mm-hmm.
when I came here. I've been very introverted my whole life as well. I feel like the way I grew up, I didn't have many opportunities to have like recognition
Mm-hmm.
throughout my life. I didn't do anything too like spontaneous in high school or middle school. So like when I got to college, I just started having all these people like coming to me and saying, hey, I'm a first generation student. Hey, this is where I'm from. This is my background, things like that. Do you like, and after seeing people in the shoes of a college student,
Mm-hmm.
then I started to project myself into that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Cicely Porter, the former student government president, she did that so much. And I underestimated it at first because she was present everywhere, but she would always be telling stories about, her early educational background. And she'd be like, I play soccer here, I do this, I do that, I'm a student government president, but I'm also more than that, I'm a student. And I underestimated it because I didn't realize until I became involved too
Yes.
that I only really did it because I saw other people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they were talking to other people um, about their experiences and how much they loved it, it makes you want to do it too.
Definitely.
So that's kind of what I do now. I like to, I didn't mention it before, but I also am a new student orientation leader. So one thing I always do there is connect with the students and the parents there. And I always tell them like my perspective. I say like, oh, I'm the second in my family to graduate from college, my cultural background, things like that. And, I underestimated myself at first too, but seeing where I am now, you can do it too.
Definitely. So my last question is, how do you involve your culture, something that's in your daily basis? How do you involve your culture into everything you do, and how do you show pride within it?
So my cultural background, so both of my parents immigrated from Pakistan in the like early 2000s. So my older sister Fatima, who's 5 years older than me and is also an IUN alumni, she was actually born in Pakistan, and both of my parents were as well. But I was born here, so I grew up with like, like a very different sense of
Mm-hmm.
what culture should be. But I culture has been incorporated into my daily life every day. The food that we eat every day is Pakistani cuisine, and in my family, there's a tight knit sense of unionization. Being connected to your family is very important, and I also feel like culturally, there's a great sense of for people my age that come from families where the parents are immigrants. There's a great sense of you want to become successful to give back to your parents
Yes.
to maximize the sacrifices that they've made. So I grew up with that um, very much instilled in me, and also by my sister. So there's that, and that's also what kind of motivates me to do more now that I'm in college. Like I said, I never felt like I had to do more in high school or middle school and things like that. But now seeing how like close I really am to my future,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do more just to like maximize um, all the sacrifices that my parents made for me.
Definitely. So just a closing point. Mina, what would you say to students, to your younger self, and to those that you love? Any little advice you have for those out there?
So I didn't get to explain this before, but I brought in this little artifact picture of myself and my cat PETA. So I know it sounds silly, but she means so much to me. I used to always think it's silly how like people are like they love their pets so much and they think they're
Yeah.
like everything to them. But once I got my cat 2 years ago, she is like everything to me. She's
Mm-hmm.
like my whole support system, and I hear it now. It sounds silly, but but she genuinely like comforts me when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to what you were saying, to like um, any last words of wisdom or advice that I might have to those that I care about and love, like my friends and family, um, I don't know. It would be to probably just to not underestimate yourself. I underestimated myself so much throughout my life, and I feel like that's why I, didn't reach out for opportunities that
Mhm.
might be great, that might be good for me until so late. So, even if I were like to talk to my younger self, I would tell her to, not underestimate yourself. Like, yeah, you are a little quiet, you don't really know how to talk to people, but you can learn those things.
Yeah,
So I wish I had learned those things a little bit earlier, but it's so important. I feel like college has helped me become such a better speaker and communicator with others and helped me engage with so many other people. So, yeah, just keep doing those
definitely.
things.
That's some great advice. And it shows that you show a lot of love, not only to your dear cat PETA, but you show a lot of love to what you do, to those that have supported you, and to the career that you hopefully aspire to be in. So, this is the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Mina,
Thank
for
you.
being here and give us a little insight of the person who has been organizing a lot of these amazing events. So that's our closing for the Am IUN Oral History Project. Thank you.